put it on this computer. All right, let me give this a little more volume. All right, so welcome to June BARA meeting. We'll start with roll call on the live stream. So KD2 TIV. Want to just, Don, you want to just say hi?
Yeah, it just took me a minute to move my mouse over. KD2 TIV. Good evening, everybody. Glad I could do this by Zoom.
All right, net control of our
And I run the morning net.
right, exactly. All right, WAT PWX Al.
Hi, this is Al. I have my video on, but for some reason I can't get my webcam working, so can't see what I look like, but I'm here.
All right, we just got to turn the lights on in your shack. That's all. Let's see here. There's a Ron. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yep. Good evening, folks. It's a warm one out here. I'm KC2MLB out in Windsor. Glad to be joining you tonight.
All right, great. Glad to have you join us today. Marcy. You're not muted, but we're not hearing your microphone. And we're not good at reading lips. All right. Not sure. All right. Well, there's Marcy, KD2 WOW in Endicott, right? Right. All right. Jason.
This is Jason, 82 UDR. The warmth out today, and the dogs are telling us.
All right, thanks for joining us. And Gary.
Yeah, this is Gary, AB2GD, trying to stay cool here.
Well, actually, we're trying to do the same up here as well. So, all right, we'll go in here to the member meeting. So we'll start over here.
Hi, K2YRA, Steve from where? Johnson City, and it is freezing out.
Yeah.
I know the temperature. Leon, N3LD from Vestal.
Bob, N2EVI from Vestal.
Bob, KA2EUD from Shenango Bridge.
Hi, I'm Ed, NE2W, BARA Secretary for Binghamton.
Alan, KC2, KLC, I'm in the town of Shenango.
Victor, N2LZM, Endicott. Joe E. Brown, KB2, AVB, Endicott.
KE2BO and Diane from Kopernik.
John, WM2R.
KD2 SLJ Paula from Endicott.
Ford, AB2HS, East Main.
Scott, AC2VI from Appalachian.
Tom, W2TJ, Broome County.
Steve, KU20, West Corners.
W2DRF, Dale from Vestal.
Greg Shepard, KD2CAV, Endicott.
Joe, WB2SGW, BARA Treasurer, Endicott.
Rick, NM2K, live near Sanitary Spring.
Last, but certainly not least.
Ed, N2ENG, Vestal, and we're gonna do in the intermission, the 50-50 for the radio and the 50-50. Well, 50-50 and the radio. But we'll do it during intermission and then we'll call it later.
All right, very good. All right, so we'll turn this back on here, but then we will switch it to our agenda. That's what I want. And never meeting. All right, so we've done here, do this like that. We'll actually. All right, so everyone got the BARA facts by email. Any questions or corrections on it? If not, do I hear a motion to accept the meeting minutes and BARA facts? To Greg and seconded by Dale. And all in favor? All right, very good. All right, treasurer's report, Joe.
Yes, we have $5,948.78.
All right, and that does not include the checks you just wrote recently.
$200 with the check.
Okay, so we're 5,700 and change.
Right.
All right.
And we got like 5 coming from,
We have another 500 or plus
More.
coming from 400.
500.
500 from the Doug's Fish Fry that we held back in April, but I don't know, it seems for some reason we don't get the check for the better part of 3 or 4 months, but
yeah, I think they pay on quarterly, but either way we get it.
but it's coming, it's coming. And how many members do we have currently?
59.
59. All right. Moving on to old business. We still have some shack cleanup to do. We've gotten a number of donations from various hams, and basically you can't really move in the shack. So we anticipate trying to set up a go through, see what we got, to see what is usable for an auction, and then look to actually have that auction sometime in the next few months. Let's see here, KD2 TDB, K2 TV as a silent key, Ed Lanky and 2BHD did a review, and I believe that's also, is that on the
It's on the swap and shop.
swap and
page
shop
that
list?
we have for members to buy and sell equipment.
Right, so again, in the, if you go in your BARA news, there's a link for the swap and shop. So if you're in the market, or if you, to buy something, or if you're in the market to move something, send that off to Ed, and you can get it up there.
There's no links to any of that stuff on the BARA website itself, is there?
No, just in the Verifax.
Yeah, but the BARA facts, there's no links to that from the website either. It's not the easiest stuff to find if you're used to going to the BARA website. Is it possible we can get links to that stuff on the BARA website?
We'll have to talk to Gary.
Gary?
Yeah, I could probably add links. Just send me whatever links you're looking for, I guess.
All right, so I guess we would just need I'm trying to think, the BARA facts are on your website, or on the, remember what domain goes? I'm sorry?
QSL.net.
QSL.net. So we can actually just have a list, for the June BARA facts, and then just give you a hot link to it. So yeah, we should be able to do that.
Well, there should be a link to the BARA facts on the BARA website,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, is that we can make that happen.
not just one issue.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, all the back, yeah,
Hey, Drew?
thanks.
Yeah,
Instead of going monthly, June, July, August, is there a way you just do one link and then here's the Verifax and you can pick whatever month you want?
That's what I was suggesting.
how does, I guess it depends on how it's set up.
There's an index, right?
Yeah, there's an index. You
So
can
link to
pick
the
your
index.
year in month.
All right.
Yeah.
That's already set up, but what Alan's saying is, somebody goes to our BARA website, they don't see any of this. It's
Right.
only when you look at Verifax, which only the members get.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm starting to get a little confused by the plethora of different resources all associated with BARA. You've got some stuff on your website. There's some stuff on this other website where the BARA facts is. There's a BARA website. It's getting all really like it's such disparate resources. It seems like W2OW.org should have links to all this stuff, so you can go to one page
Well,
and find.
you
everything
can
associated
sort of
with
get there through, how do you get to the,
You see, it's not obvious at all.
here, right here, helpful information.
There's nothing
Well-
on there either. It's a problem.
All right,
No.
so that's something for us to work on.
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
okay.
Yeah, good idea.
All right.
Where am I? Here we go. All right. When's the next photo? Actually, I'm gonna sort of table that for right now, because the next thing coming up is really field day. And so actually, Steve Rossman, K2YRA is the chair of our activities committee. So Steve, if you want, why don't we translate into that and talk about where we stand and what the plan is. Yeah, come on up.
And first of all, my apologies for sending out so many emails. That's one of the downsides of having free email. When you used to have to pay for it, you'd maybe get one email a year. Now it's like, what I lack in quality, I make up or try to make up for in quantity, so I apologize. So field day, I am really excited about field day with BARA because you guys have a great tradition. You know, and the key thing of it is a 3-letter word, as my grandsons would say, it's the F word, not the one that they always spell wrong. FUN, fun. You guys have a lot of fun doing it. It's fun, food, and getting together. And I mean, those are the best things. So field day, as you know, is this weekend. It's Friday and Saturday. No, I'm sorry, Saturday and Sunday. I include Friday because that's really a setup day. You know, Ford and Ed and Steve, I think are set for setup. If you need extra help, get with them, you know, or if you can offer extra help on Friday, help with them. Where we really need help is Sunday at 2 p.m., which is typically where everyone disappears. So what happens Sunday, 2 p.m.? It's over, tear down, pack up, put stuff away and go home. People disappear, or they come and eat and then disappear. So, and in between, we have 24 hours of fun operating. So it goes from 2 p.m. Saturday until 2 p.m. Sunday. And actually it's a 27-hour, but we're only gonna do 24 hours. Saturday morning, there'll also be a setup. So what we're gonna be doing, and a lot of this may be, it is repeating a lot what's in those too many emails, which nobody reads. We're gonna be class 5E. 5 because we're gonna have the capability of 5 transmitters, 5 simultaneous transmitters. Doesn't mean we'll be transmitting all 5 at once, but we have that capability or the maximum capability of 5. And will be E for echo, which I think Rick said is great because on CW it's just it. So, and the reason for E, it's the club or home emergency power category or class, which we truly would, that's what we would be. If we were setting up at a non-station location or a non-club permanent location, as Kopernik really is, we could have been the class A. Doesn't mean class A is better, it's just alphabetic. But in other words, if we were setting up off-site, totally at a park, at wherever, different categories. So we'll be 5E WNY, and that's the exchange. I mean, it's the easy exchange ever. 5 Echo, Whiskey November Yankee, you know, Whiskey 2 Oscar Whiskey. Scoring is very simple. It's 1 point for voice, 2 points for CW, 2 points for digital. The logging laptops are set up and they are capable of running the digital software also. So some people say digital, schmidigital. I would never say that because it just sounds silly. But the advantage of digital, there are some advantages to it, depending on propagation. If it's great, if we're doing fantastic on sideband, you know, working stations, running frequencies, just we're all over the place, go for it. It's fun. It's real. And the public really appreciates, you know, hearing that conversation. But if not, or you lose your voice, or it's just noisy, digital or CW could be a silent mode of communications.
Also, those digital modes, sometimes when the bands otherwise seem like they're dead, you really can pull a bunch of stations. I mean, last night I picked up a new, I picked out Albania on,
Wow.
on.
That's a rare one.
Yeah.
Because there's not many people in Albania.
Yeah, on,
Wherever it
on
is.
18 megahertz, last night. So,
Well, like I've never used it. I'm interested to see what it's like.
So, that's, Ed, thank you for saying that. That's the other F part, the 3 Fs that are in field day: fun, food, and finally getting to learn stuff from each other. And that's this is gonna be a great opportunity to learn and teach and mentor and coach and share things you've never done. I haven't operated CW in 30 some odd years. I would like to, get back into it. It is a fun, friendly, low pressure, good supportive environment. There are some clubs, and I won't name them, like Frankfurt, that are, I'm sorry, that are cutthroat. And if you're not keeping up with the pace of logging, contest connections, they'll literally, pull you out of the chair You know, hey, go check the generator, you know, or something, or.
Go
you
work
know.
1296.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely that, you know, the whole goal of this is to share, to help each other. That's really the big thing. We're not looking to score 1 million points. I don't even know. Where we can score a lot of points, which is great, if we scroll down, are in bonuses. Again, you get points for QSOs, the number of QSOs you create a little further south. Keep going, south. Bonuses. So we're going to be class E or Echo. So we're eligible for all those bonus categories that have, you know, potential check marks next to them. Some of them we're not eligible to get the bonus because we're class E. If we were class A, we could, but it would still be cool. It would still be very cool. We are operating in a public location. So, well, that's great. We get an honorary bonus for that. Public information table. What a great way to promote Kopernik, Ham Radio, BARA, whatever. So we could do that. That's simply a table with brochures, somebody to help answer questions. We don't get points for it, but it's good things. Message origination and message handling and satellite, you know, those will get bonuses, the satellite QSO. We need somebody who's familiar with message handling to send and receive a message to the section. And the details are in the rules if you want, you know, the link to exactly what's involved in the message handling. But that would be great if somebody could take that. We'll get, you know, points and fun, and other people can learn about message handling. You know, that's the R in ARRL, you know, is radio relay from relaying messages. So it's a good thing. Alternate power, we're going to be operating on generator. So that's the first one. We'll get 100 points for each transmitter. That's 500 points right there. That's 500 voice QSOs. Holy cow. That's pretty amazing. The 3.8 is alternate power. If we take one transmitter operated on a natural power source, which could be a battery, not charged from a gas powered or commercial means, solar powered. So we have batteries that we're going to charge. We're charging them now, and the sun is helping. We're charging them on solar. We'll operate a station for a period of time. On that, I think it's 5 QSOs. Yeah,
up to 5 QSOs. I mean, a couple of field days ago, we ran basically the entire day and well into the evening before that battery finally gave out, and then we switched over.
Yeah, and it's a cool thing, and you know, we get bonus, and it's also it's cool.
It's noiseless.
It's noiseless too, and we save on gas. You know, copying the W18W bulletin. There'll be a special bulletin sent on voice, CW, and digital. Copy it. Send me a copy. We'll submit it.
Now,
we get the points.
Is somebody willing to? I guess that it's actually gonna be transmitted on Friday.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, so if one of you are willing to, you know, maybe some of our CW operators, if you wanna pick that up and copy it down, then we can submit it and we get another 100 points.
So, you know, I could do this like we do with the High Holy Days, you know, where they take pledges and donations,
Yes.
you know, like I pledge $1 million. Morris Ginsburg pledges $1 million anonymously. That's an old joke.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to step up now, feel free. Or, you know, email me, Drew, any of the group, or just do it and send us the results of it. It'll be a great thing. Stuff on social media, Drew already did a great job. It's on the Kopernik website.
It'll be on our Facebook page.
Yep, it'll be as long as it's on not the BARA Facebook.
Right.
It has to be a non-club
Yeah.
Facebook, but post it everywhere. So the key to this is getting the public involved, getting people to come out, because the 3.16 or 15 youth participation. I don't think anyone here is under the age of 17.
We do have is it Brian Card?
Brian has two
kids, and
Yeah.
so I'll try to reach out to him and see if they're around to come up and make a couple of contacts for us. But we used to take my daughters, but they've aged out of that category.
That's right. But you know what? They don't even have to necessarily be hams. They could be your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids, kids that come from schools or scouts, whatever. the whole idea is get them excited, get them involved. My older grandson is 7 going on 30. I don't know if he's quite ready to, get on the mic, but that's a great way to get more people involved. So, yes, yeah.
Do we have a Facebook presence?
Yep. Absolutely. We have it through, on the BARA site and some others. So, that's another great thing. If anyone, or if you're on Facebook or some other social media, post what we're doing. And that helps publicize it, because not everyone's on the same
That's
Facebook.
where I was going.
Yeah, if you're already on Facebook or something else, whatever, any of the others, please feel free to socialize that. That
We
helps.
did that when they did the fish fries,
Mhm.
but I
Yeah.
can't remember seeing anything else on Facebook ever.
Yeah, we have a pretty active Facebook page. We, Binghamton Amateur Radio Association. And it's pretty active. I mean, it's, we post Ed also posts a lot on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we take pictures of every activity we do, we put it all out there, right?
Yeah,
usually that day.
I just sent out through Kopernik's email distribution, which hits 4,000 people, a notification on that.
And that also is going to include like elected officials. It's an election year. They want to come kiss babies and, get pictures with the populace and stuff.
Any chance we can get an article in the press like Elmira Group did?
Well, I actually, it's funny that morning I wrote to one of the reporters that reports here in the Triple Cities, Emily Barnes. I've not heard a response back from her. So
They may be bigger advertisers than we are. Maybe that, I'm not saying that influence.
I
think they got connections. They get some people that knew who to talk to.
Yeah.
But still, it's the more we get the word out, the better.
I'll be also reaching out to the TV stations with a special media release, and as long as
Too.
Yeah, no.
Local guy.
Yeah, no, I got them all on my distribution, so I'll send a press release out probably tomorrow. And so.
There's another way to participate in field day. Even if you cannot make it to Kopernik. Of course, it's more fun to come here, but you can operate field day from your home or from a park or from wherever, from somewhere else under your own call sign. And you'd be whatever category, whichever letter category you'd qualify for, and the details in there. You'd be like maybe A or D or B, depending whether you're battery powered or mobile or portable. So let's say you're operating whatever, W1 XYZ, just make up a call. On your own, you could submit that score for field day and tag Binghamton ARA, Binghamton Amateur Radio Association. When you submit your log, the club will benefit from your
score,
which is awesome. So all the bonus, all the points, all the whatever you get will help contribute to the club's results. Can't beat that. That's like free money. So where do we really need people? So if we go to now I'm going to put on my pledge hat. So operating schedule, we're going to have 5 stations potentially, maximum 5 stations. Plus we'll have some other stations operating outside the contest on the non-contest bands. I think Ford, you're going to set up a workstation outside.
Yeah.
And that could qualify.
If the weather's good, if not, you right there.
Depends on the weather, absolutely. So we don't have a big air conditioner for the outside, no, okay.
Yeah, so what we need to know is if you're coming and when, because also we will be offering some food for those people that are here at lunchtime as well as at dinner time. And
did I hear that it can be 24 hours? We could be.
Yeah.
So if you're up in the middle of the night, and you don't mind that seasonal use road that still scares the heck out of me at night, come on up. We'll be here. Somebody will be here.
Stop this for a second.
Somebody will be here, and you're able to operate in the middle of the night and have some fun. probably grab one of these comfortable chairs, take a nap. So we would, so whatever you guys or you folks think is best to choose when you want to operate and what frequencies, whether you want to, just fill out a form or respond to a survey, what
Yeah, I
would
think,
be the best?
I mean, ultimately, one of the things that I think we're gonna try to move toward is, there's some neat apps out there. One that Steve is familiar with is called, Team Up. And it allows you to easily schedule. So
Right.
we're not ready to roll that out for
Yeah.
this particular event. So we'll probably just send out a quick, survey to say, are you coming and when?
Right.
So
And if
in
you have a
between,
preference of one of these time slots, or, do you prefer working sideband in the afternoon, or would you prefer working CW in the whatever? You can put your preferences in. This way, we can get that, clear ahead of time.
Okay.
I do apologize for dumping so many new applications out there, kind of like, at the last minute. Don't worry about it.
we'll
Team
get
up,
there.
as Drew said, that's something we could do down the road. It's a great collaborative tool for scheduling, where you can put down, okay, I want, this at 2 a.m., and you avoid conflict. Slack is a quick instant messaging application that's really good for quick notes back and forth for collaborating. Coda especially, at the last minute, hey, I'm going out, I'm going to a park, who's out there? Boom, 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 and you can get it on your computer, you can get it on your phone, you can get it just about anywhere. It's optional, so don't sweat it if you got it and say, holy cow, what's this guy doing? Where are these all coming from? Don't sweat it. It'll come. So where we really need help, and commitment from folks, is to help with the tear down, the packing and everything. The saddest time of day, it's 2 a.m., 2 p.m. Don't come in the middle of the night don't do that. 2 p.m. on Sunday to help pack up. We may start breaking down a little earlier, parts of it, do that. Aggregate your scores if you're not able to get to Kopernik to operate. Your individual scores, you get credit in field day, you'll be in the list of field day participants. Copy the ARRL bulletin, the message handling. Everyone. And as Ed says, if you do it, share with others how you did it. So other people may say, I'd really be interested in messaging. What's all this messaging stuff about? Well, it's a key critical component of emergency communications, of disaster response. So, that's where ARRL started from, message relaying and handling. So a key part, and let's always try to get people to come and also be ambassadors. I guess that's the right word, be ambassadors of, the hobby, of BARA, of Kopernik, of everything. Get people encouraged, because that's really the fun in the future. Well, it's more F's. Too many F words, I apologize. Questions, you can hit
The
me
only thing
now.
pardon me, let me just jump in here. Kopernik actually we start our summer camps on Monday. So we really need to make sure that, and I've told my staff that, we've got, field day going, starting on Saturday, going through mid-afternoon on Sunday. But, being able to sit there and tear everything down and sort of, and clean up, so that my staff isn't working here till 11 o'clock at night trying to get ready for the, this is, the,
So what you're saying, leave it better than we found it.
Right.
Leave it. Steve, you had a question?
So what time for setup on Friday and Saturday?
I would check, Ford is the setup, it's Ford and Ed and you, Arthur.
We should, our setup and takedown should be easier this year because of the project that we did, one of the LMR 400.
Right.
So we won't have as much set up.
And we won't be able to do that till Saturday anyway.
Right. So Friday we won't really have a whole lot going on. But I don't know. I honestly, we can just set up Saturday morning early if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It doesn't start till 2.
Right.
I don't really know if it's necessary to really do Friday and Saturday, so shoot forward, what do you think?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, no, because really the only, well, that gets the thinking, really the only other antenna to put up is that one I'm gonna put for
Right.
Rick out here. Because we don't really need the one to go to the solar panel now, because we got two.
We can run 5 rigs off of the Elmore 400, so
Oh, yeah.
that's
So,
a lot less than.
if not.
And also, Bob, I don't know if you're still open to bringing the trailer and the beam up, or you feel like
We
it,
will need some help.
okay.
You know, that's one thing I would say, you know, was, do we have help, to help Bob out with it?
Right.
And are we going to use the antennas, we put them up, because we got these other, I'm not against using the beams. Well, we got the quadplex, so we're gonna be set here in the rooms. So if we're going to, have the, trailer outside and what have you, well, now we got more cables that gotta be run into the building.
So
yeah,
here's
so-
the question.
What are we
Bob,
gonna do?
will you be coming and joining, you know, anyway?
Yeah, I'll be up here.
And you're accepting our invitation to come, and I'm doing this for a particular reason. And are you still deputy director of Vestal? So
Yeah, I'm one of the, I get 2 points.
we just got 100 bonus points. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. 100 bonus points. Are there any elected officials in the room? Probably nobody wants to admit it.
No, but no, I've got I have a link for that,
Oh, awesome.
for the elected.
To the
officials,
elected,
yeah.
okay. But for example, there we go. We invite, and you know, we're fortunate to have as part of our group, you know, a member of a served agency that does emergency response, and what's cooler than that? So the good thing about
All right, so I think what we need to do is ultimately figure out who's able to come up and help us set up on Saturday morning. And I'll include that in the survey that will go out tonight. So that we know, and then if we do feel like we've got sufficient, you know, headroom with help, then we're fine. Otherwise,
So, well, I'll tell you what it's gonna
Yeah,
entail
what's
to
involved,
Okay.
yeah.
get the tower up here. You know, we gotta pull it up, okay? We gotta get the beam out from behind my house. We've gotta get the rotor, mount, we've gotta pull the current mast off the tower and mount the rotor.
Mhm.
Then we've gotta put the beam up and then get the rotor all configured, so, and then stand her up,
sounds like
you know.
it would be a cool thing to have to show, but an awful lot of work. Yeah, in terms of a public, it would be like an educational, you know, public relations thing. Whether we'd actually use it and considering the amount of work and effort involved, I'll leave it up to you guys whether it's worth doing.
Just a thought, I like having the beam up here, but I guess the weather this weekend is gonna be very.
We may be having a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Iffy, I guess, stormy, so that could
It-
hamper on
Is there,
something like that.
so is there something cool we could just show, you know, have there for show?
I got pictures of when we've used it here.
That would be part of the education table, yeah. So, oh, there you go. So
Right.
part of that educational, you know, or public would be the role of ham radio in emergency communication. So the next best thing to schlepping everything up here is being able to show and talk about it.
And what I figured to do is I'm gonna have some portable antennas up there. I got, my trailer with a telescoping mast. You can go on it, I can stretch, then fed halfway or what have you between the gazebo and that trailer. As one of the things, I got a High Sierra screwdriver type antenna on a tripod with ground radials. They can, be set up, and I've also got, telescoping, 17-foot, whip. You can make a quarter wave ground plane out of it.
So that's perfect because.
So, plus I'll have portable power, you know, what have you, so
Right.
if I'm able to do it outside, I'll do it, if not, some of the antennas will be set up outside here in the rain and, but the radio and the operator will be in here where it's dry.
And it's all about like showing, you know, be able to show. And Alan, the brochures that you did would be awesome to have that as part of our, you know, public information. Those and Kopernik
Right.
Literature would be awesome to have. Any questions? You want to volunteer now? You could do it, you know. when
Yeah,
you
why
get
don't
the
we
email.
I'll send out that
Send-
survey. I'll even have, we'll have a section where people can put in any comments that they want. And, but we'll need your response by, I'd say Friday morning, so that we know what we're doing with and we know how much food to get and all that, so.
Now, what are we talking on, setup time on Saturday, around 10 o'clock? Is that, sound good? or-
What do you think? Good, reasonable.
I mean, I'm gonna take, like tonight, we can actually take the rigs and put them, all the cases and everything in physics, so they're sort of ready to just deploy. And,
Well, the other thing is we can, if the weather's gonna be iffy, the way we put those connectors for the LMR 400 project, it's all under a roof.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario, I mean, we got 2 antennas, which are already out there, we'll run our 5 rigs. So it's crappy, we really literally don't have to set anything up unless we have to, if the weather's crappy. That's what's nice about that project.
And our total fallback plan is, let's say the generator doesn't work, or we're 5 delta, no big deal. You know, we're still 5 D for delta because we're on commercial power.
Right, weather's crappy, we can just run for it.
Right.
And if, you know, so we're not, we're not losing, we're not losing out anyway. And to Ed's point, and again, thank you for making that, I volunteered, John and Diane to like, because of their great experience and their teamwork, logging and operating, I want, Diane, you should operate more, to be kind of mentors, coaches. So, maybe there are people who are not comfortable operating CW.
a female voice automatically adds 3 dB.
Absolutely, yeah,
Just so you know.
it really does. So anyone who can do a good female impersonation, we need you.
All right,
Yeah, I would, well,
no, go ahead.
Is that like just like a human thing, like a joke basically, or is that like actually like because of the vocal frequencies punch?
No,
No,
because,
it's just a horny guy.
no,
Horny
That's
guy.
what I was saying, like human things, like because they.
no, because if everybody else is on top, men's voices, the frequency content tends to be down here. Women's voices has slightly higher frequency content and it cuts through.
So just use a filter to change my voice up a pitch too.
Yes, that would really help. All right, any questions
All right.
now or email and look for,
okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a suggestion, because the biggest thing is that they don't wanna leave Bob hanging. My suggestion is we don't worry about the tower and the
Yeah.
beams for this
For
year.
this year.
Cut some of our work, that's, if another time we're gonna do field day at a park or something, that's a good thing for it.
so one of my dreams, I got up in the middle of the night the other night, and realized, hey, I need an air conditioner, is
Just
if
go
we
to bed
operate.
and go back to bed.
I know, that's what happened, but I couldn't find the bathroom. Operating at EOC or an EOC at an emergency operations center is really cool for field day.
Or-
You haven't seen our emergency operations center, you don't have that much room to.
All right.
That's-
Well, but also
yeah.
you can go to like an Arnold Park,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is a great location as well.
Yeah, and there are other places, so
All right.
again, this year, let's have fun.
All right, Greg.
Where do we get it?
it's on the PCs that we've got.
So if you're looking for something to use for your own,
Oh, at home?
How do I log it?
you could do it on paper, you could use, what do you
Are-
log with now?
QRZ log it.
Okay,
What's that?
I guess, where are you going to operate? From here?
No, yet, I haven't figured out.
Okay.
I haven't figured that out yet.
The club,
If you're doing manual, we just we copy it in. If you're doing digital, just export the 80 and we can import that to the system.
the club uses, and has the suite of N3FJP software. So if you decide you're going to operate not from here,
No,
We-
it would only
we-
go
we
into
can-
W2 or W.
What?
full site. When you.
you would have to do,
You would have to, no, it would have to be W2 or W.
CAB, I understand that.
Right.
Yeah, so if you use QRZ for logging and you know it already, you could use it, just send the log to us, we'll
Convert it to
what's
kilobyte, yeah.
needed for
Yeah.
Okay, so do you need a CSV or Excel?
ADIF, or
yeah,
the one thing, just remember is the exchange. You have to say that you're one X, whatever your class is, and get that from the other station. You have to know the exchange.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
all right. Now that we've sort of gone through that, let's continue on with our agenda here.
We're not doing the tower.
No, correct, we are not doing the tower this year.
We have something even better.
Okay, so moving into new business, again, we sort of mentioned it, this team up in Slack, and so those are two features that or services that we will probably be looking to implement within the club, but it'll be, over time. Gonna jump in here. One of the things that Rick Zach, the gentleman who was here last month, he sent me his club's newsletter, and they talked about making ham radio call plates for club members. And so we were wondering, are people interested if we were to get like a BARA nameplate, and then or call, nameplate, and then you'd have your name and call sign on it. Would that have some interest for people?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do some looking around to see whether there's somebody local or whether we just have to send it out and that we can,
I think you could do at least at first to just get like sticker ones to see how many people actually like use them, see how helpful they are, so you don't spend all the money on like plastic ones that.
Well, I
may
mean,
or may not stick
I
around.
mean, I don't think you're gonna order, you just don't order it. I mean,
We're doing getting the magnet ones, people tend to like those better.
although well, you need the option either way because, right, if you've got a pacemaker, you can't use the magnet one. Or if you are a candidate for pacemaker, you shouldn't get one. But anyway, all right, so we'll do some looking for that.
It costs like $8 on Etsy.
Yeah. And it's, and maybe what we can do is if we can, if we find, somebody say, hey, if we send you an order for 20 of them, would you knock a buck or two off?
Where they get them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I make them here for Kopernik, and I buy them from a place down in Florida. So yeah, we'll just look around, but there's some that are sort of ham radio oriented and you sort of, small.
The logo on.
Yeah. And then you can decide whether or not, if you're an ARO member, do you put that, can you add that to, to the screen? So,
I was gonna wear my BARA sweatshirt, but.
yeah. Not this.
Not this.
All right.
Oh, you said it was cold out.
It was cold.
So Steve sort of talked about it when he was mentioning the digital for a field day. One of the things we did was Ford was up at the Cortland Hamfest and found a Signal Link interface. That Signal Link is the box that has got a USB connection to your computer, but then ultimately provides a connection to like a digital connection to your rig for digital communication, in particular like FT8 or PSK 31 or whatever. So normally that Signal Link goes for $139. He found it used for $50, and so we bought it. We had to buy another cable for our FT 897 for $21. So because the board can spend up to $100 on items, we're just letting you know that we did buy it. But now, and we tested it out last weekend, Steve and Gary and I, and we were able to actually make an FT8 connection and actually have it talk to the FT, the N3LD software. So we think we're ready to do some digital work for field day.
I have an extra one or two out. I may bring if we want to do more than one.
Yeah.
One rig.
Right.
As an option.
Right. And we also have a recent donation that has a Signal Link as well that we may be able to get that if we decide we're going to run two digital modes at the same time. But we'll start with one and see where it takes us. Let's see here. There is one, at least I think, one new member that we need to vote on, and that's Bob Peterson. So Bob has a check, which I'm assuming is still good.
I vote.
All right, all in favor of Bob Peterson joining? Anybody against?
Check good.
We're on a roll. Yeah. So anyway, Bob, great to have you with us. I believe also in here is Dennis's I think we voted on Dennis, Ford's,
He'll be here Saturday.
Dennis Simmons, yeah. So we voted on him, I believe, last time. So we have two additional members, Joe. All right. And any new business people want to bring up? Otherwise, what we'll do is we are going to let Ed do his 50/50 and HT raffle. We'll take a 5-minute break, or 7-minute break, and we will start our program right up at 8 o'clock, and that's Leanne Decker, N3LD on SatNOGS.
Yeah, Drew, I can send the survey out tonight
Yeah.
if that's easier.
Yeah,
I'll send
yeah.
it out with the.
Yeah, no,
You
when
got
we're
some
done,
info?
I get home and I've got a similar survey
Oh, okay.
that I just need to update,
Okay.
you know.
So you
But-
use that schedule if you want to.
Yeah,
Send
yeah.
it. Good.
I've been using a Signal Link and forever. and
Yeah.
It works great and I love it. But when I put my new laptop setup together,
Mhm.
there's really inexpensive USB interfaces that are available now that work
Oh,
really well.
like
The
the,
Digi, that's
is it
DigiX.
DigiLink or something like that? Or?
Well, no.
That's
It's
one
not name, not even name brand. I forget, there's a certain chipset in them, but there are far less expensive alternatives in case
Yeah.
we need more adapters. I wouldn't just go starving up a bunch of Signal Links these days.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the
Well, that's a good price.
Digi.
Yeah, you got that
Yeah.
$50, which was with.
Yeah, that's decent, but I mean, these USB adapters are way cheaper than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it-
They're audio adapters, and then you
Right.
just need another USB adapter just to key the rig,
Rig
which is,
control.
but
That was the
the
extra
two
cable.
together, so like those audio adapters, it's a C media chipset is on these audio adapters.
Right, I mean, like, I think the other commercial one that I've seen is like
FL
45, no,
that's okay.
FL Dis, he's the app.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
no, the one that Gary Dewey used.
Gary Dewey,
Digirig. That's it.
Digirig, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, it was the
Yeah.
Digirig, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
And
that's
then
what,
Those aren't super cheap
No,
either.
but it does rig control also.
Yeah, but I mean, there's these USB adapters.
Yeah.
They're just audio adapters.
Sure.
They're just,
Mhm.
you know,
And
all you
like
do is
give you
plug into the
isolation.
mic and headphone
Yeah.
to the laptop.
the only thing I get a little bit concerned with is making sure that somebody who isn't
Yeah.
very familiar with it can easily put it together and make it work.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, they basically say microphone and speaker, you know, headphone,
Right.
plug this into headphone, plug this into mic.
Right. and
And
then
then-
the other side goes to,
The audio, yeah.
Radio, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you want some too, right? He's like, man, he's trying to throw money like, well, no matter what. You guys do it all. Yeah. You guys do it on here? Well, you might have a brand new one tonight. You like, change it from 50 for the radio? Radio? $1 a piece. How many plays? Now we're. Do you have the two?
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of things that came in the mail. Okay, also, these are 50/50 and Belfang from April, and then in May.
Okay.
Then there was a couple of these
Okay.
things, whatever, this is paddling. Right?
Okay,
There you
okay,
go.
good, thanks.
It's 70 centimeter too. You got about 400.
So this should work. Well, okay, wait a minute. I think I need,
You don't want to sad.
okay, yeah.
It's like a radio or.
And I got the microphone right here, so. Yeah, just talking.
4 minutes. You want to do, you want to do the radio? Yeah. Okay, right. Well, that's correct. No, you gave him 10. Yeah. You gave him a 10. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. I'll take no view. Yeah, I see. I was trying to get it for it's gonna be iffy weather. We don't need any of that. None. That were 5 radios. There were 5. It's like I said, if weather's crappy or. We don't need anything. 50/50 and radio tickets, if anybody's still interested. 6 for 5, so 80 hours for 50. He's gonna give you 6 for oh. I think it'll be out here. Joe, did you want to get in? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Signal. You're right there in the law. Okay. That's it. Other times. And we get a good, somebody answers. We're headed out. Did you want to get it out? Well, all you gotta do is change the. Thank you for help. I like getting here like good half hour early because we're usually no, I texted, so I'm gonna be run late. Yeah, everybody. I really appreciate it. Well, and the other thing is, worst case scenario. Well, I had a small bench. So I literally see it right around 12 hours. Well, we can have frequency. Well, I know where it is. On the oscillator, so we go off here. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I got this too. 2831. But you want to do everyone.
Trying to get it back together. Yeah.
How do I switch if I'm gonna go to that webpage?
What we then need to do is.
Want to move that?
Oh, no, it's all right.
I brought it as
hold on. In case somebody. I was gonna say, do you wanna?
Sure, you wanna call Molly?
I got the linear on here, so, I can all hear me. We'll pull it all together here. When we switch between, I got to stop sharing, that will go to the, it's actually, let me do this. There and.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do Sean real quick.
Is this the first one you want to go to on the?
Yes.
Okay.
50/50 ticket, $28.
Right.
Tab.
Yes, it's all tabbed. Wait a minute, but I have, in order for the people on the live stream, I've got to stop sharing and then go to the other one.
Red ticket, 410.
Hold on, 410 red ticket.
Red ticket, 410.
Oop, Tom's got it. Behind you.
Oh, $28. Are you sure? Oh, okay, thanks.
Right, Tom is doing.
I don't look for the whoever guy's Twitter.
Okay, for About Fang Radio, donated by Joe Oswald.
Yeah, whoops. Dropping everything here. No, it's done on this one. Okay, last three, 207, blue ticket, 207. Aha, okay, great.
All right, great.
Thank you, Joe. Yep.
All right, so a number of months ago, I was just perusing the sort of ham radio Ethernets or internets, and came across SatNOGS, and somehow I managed to trip across N3LD. I'm like, I know that call, and so Leon here is a BARA member, although he's usually working and off somewhere, so he doesn't always make these meetings. But I reached out to Leon and said, "Are you in a position to maybe do a talk and just talk about what what you do with it and how you got into it?" And he said yes, and so here we are. So Leon, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you. So first, I would be interested in talking about how I got into ham radio a little bit.
Guys,
Can you hear me all right?
You want to actually mic you?
No need makeup, just.
Yeah, now it makes me even more nervous.
Wire them up.
Wire them up.
You just put that in your pocket.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about, is it too loud?
No.
Okay, about how I got into ham radio. In high school, down here at the Vestal High School, the electronics teacher was a ham. He had a radar system, Navy surplus on the roof. And so I got into a lot of electronics and got into ham radio through that. I was kind of out of it for many years. Ford remembers when I used to work on the volunteer ambulance, I used to see him at some of the events. And then later, when I got out of the ambulance so much, I got back into the ham radio. During that process, I got interested in satellites. I went to Boxborough, Massachusetts, one of the ARRL meetings. And when I was up there, I thought it was really expensive and crazy and big to get into that, but it turned out it really wasn't. The fellow that I saw there took a tripod, an arrow antenna, and he was talking on the satellites. So I kind of got into that. I came home, I got an arrow antenna, but I found out it was kind of hard to keep watch of when the satellite is going to go by, go running outside, line up, talk on the satellite, and then come back in and wait for the next one. So I put rotators at the house in beams, arrow antenna, Alaska, to make it a little bit longer, a little bit better on the rotator at the house. So now I have computers running that, and I used to do UQ, one of the ones that went by. I would send that up to the website. Every time it came by, I would send up the data automatically. And that kind of fizzled. So I was looking for something else, and I found the SatNOGS. It's part of LibreSpace. It consolidates all that information everybody sends up into a website where you can take a look and see. You can download some of it,
I've done experiments downloading the data, reprocessing it. I don't know if you've seen what Drew has out here in the lobby with the satellites, the weather satellites.
Right, the APG satellites and the GO satellites, we've got the monitors now with that.
The little ones that take showing the weather images.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have that stuff. I run that quite a bit. The SatNOGS, people can go to the website and all the different people that have the systems, they can schedule it to track the satellite and download the data and then upload it to their website. So it can be all shared. When Drew asked me about this, I was thinking about making a little display and steps of setting one up. So back about a month ago, I went through the process of setting another one up, and it took me the whole day Saturday. So I thought that would be kind of out. But as I did that,
Welcome to ham radio.
yeah, right. And I did that, I made these slides to share with you. So I'm sure we can share the slides, put them online or
Well,
something.
this whole thing's being recorded, so you can
Okay.
actually go to our YouTube channel and watch it. You can watch it that way as well.
Is the recorder running?
Yeah,
Did you restart it? Okay.
I didn't turn it off, so.
Oh, okay. All right. So those are the main links that I saw. One of the questions I thought should be answered is, what is SatNOGS? And I found their definition: software and hardware platform for creating a satellite ground network station. They have different ways of doing it. In particular, I use mine with my rotator. It's all on a little Raspberry Pi. So they give you all the software that you can download images to build from and so on. But that's what they have here. This is a map of the stations. I don't know, but if you see in the upper corner of the United States, that's where my house is, the station here in Vestal. There's a dot there. You have two choices, one without a rotor and one with. Depends on the antenna. I like what you put out here. Yeah. I've done a bunch of different ones.
What satellites are these? Are these ham radio satellites or
You can do any of the satellites,
commercials?
not like TV satellites, but they just keep adding more and more and more. I haven't even kept up to all of it. It's primarily the easy ones are weather, but the voice, the CW, all the data ones from the ham radio, you can set it up. They're all listed, and you can go on their website. I'll show you in a little bit where you can go on their website and see all the different ones that people track. You'll be able to see that. I'm not sure that it's for everybody. I do it to share it. Is that a question?
Answering kind of his question, basically any satellite that has an unencrypted download, people have set up to listen to it. There's the ISS, there's the weather satellites, there's ones that used to be used for military operations that they kind of just left open, people use for like, in other countries, they use it for CB radio. You name it, as long as it's unencrypted and there's a way to demod, it's probably on SatNOGS.
There's a lot of them on there.
And it's receive only.
Correct.
It's receive only, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I've actually set up a couple of them at the house at different times. That way I can be receiving on two different ones and not interfere. I just have to remember if I want to use 2 meters or something, I have to unhook them. So I've been a little nervous about that. This is a kind of diagram of the process when it's receiving it and processing it. The Raspberry Pi that I use for that, you really don't look at it because it just sits there and runs. And in the background, it processes and uploads them to their website. So you might ask the question, how do you do that if you're interested? And here's a website link, and then you can do it through chat. They have the Lever chat. You can get into the development. You can get into helping them with the software. There's all different ways to get involved. The easy way to get going is join the community, because then you can learn more about it. And then whether you want, if you do want to do a ground station, you want the rotor, the not rotor, you can do that. And then you can go and create an account on their website. When you sign up for the account, they give you an API key. So that's your link, so that it lets you upload the data. You put that key into the software on your Raspberry Pi. They're asking more people all the time to help and do programming, help them with the different setups. I was hoping to go to the Dayton Hamfest this summer, or a month or so ago, and I didn't make it because I was hoping to run into them. I have reached out to them, try to get them to give me maybe something that they would say, oh, here's the things that you should present. And so I just kind of put this together. Here's a kind of a diagram of the ground station. How many of you are familiar with the SDRs? Quite a few.
Tell me what SDR means.
Software
defined receiver.
Yeah, okay.
Well, radio.
Thank you.
Radio, yeah.
Yeah. It's an abbreviation that you get used to and
Right.
just.
We need a GO.
Yeah.
Last of acronyms.
Yeah, right. So the SDR, I believe it was originally started for TV. And they've adapted it with software to receive all sorts of different things. I've used it for just listening to the radio. And then all of these Raspberry Pis can do, or I've even used it on my phone. A little adapter to get from the USB-C to a regular USB-A and plug the SDR into the phone and run software that'll do that. You have another question?
More statement. There's actually in Pennsylvania, Milford, there's a web accessible SDR that people can use to listen to ham radio and a bunch of other stuff. He actually has 2 different systems that you can use.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's slightly different stuff.
3EF, I think.
Oh, yeah, there's thousands,
Yeah.
but that's just the closest one I've found.
Oh, okay. So that you go online and listen to the data coming from their SDR. The data from the SDR can be actual translated to audio, or it can be data, which then can be later brought into audio or refined and tuned and everything.
And if you want to get started on SDR, you can go get a receiver from, I forget what, the RTL SDR, and they sell it for like $30 with a whole bunch of kit, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
Might have gone up since I last looked, but it's a nice piece of kit to just plug in. It receives from like the low ham band all the way up to I think 2.4 gigahertz.
Right.
Or something like that.
And they also have an adapter thing that you can get called Ham It Up,
Yep.
which lets it adapt to the ham HF frequencies. So I have that, but I've never had a chance to hook that one up. You can get an image if you wanted to do this, and you can do the same kind of thing with a Raspberry Pi, even for other products or other uses. But they have a specific image that you can download. And then you can install it, and it can automatically update as you update things, or they update things. You can automatically update that on the way. As I said, this was originally kind of thinking about walking through the steps of making one, but it took so long. It's easier to go through the slides and talk about it. Does anybody have any questions as I go through these? Am I going too fast?
Okay, good.
Okay. So you install the client. Here's the tags are the actual things that you type into the command line on the Raspberry Pi. So there's different things, like I mentioned, different ways to communicate or to participate, I should say. SatNOGS DB, SatNOGS, the big database of all the stuff, the dashboard where you can see the things that were collected, the network that you become part of if you have one, and then there's forums.
Well, it's civilized.
Right. This is from these are pretty much all taken from their page, maybe cut and pasted. So the network, observations, ground stations. So like I said, I have 2 of them. And then people can help them with coding. They have to take the data, like someone mentioned back there, that the data comes in and it might be raw data instead of audio. So it might have to be modulated or demodulated, I guess, and written into I received the APRS from the ISS recently, and it switches it from the data to actual ASCII characters. So here's a sample that I had searched. And this is what it looks like on their website after the Raspberry Pi gathers it and uploads it. So they give you this waterfall to see, and the green lines are the actual audio. And then it's decrypted or demodulated into the data. I think that's the next one. So the actual data that comes from the satellite is the pictures are in black and white. What you have out there shows the color, and the software interprets the data and does overlays. It will put a map in it. It will depend on the different images, the data that's being sent. There's always two, is what I understand. So one of them is maybe infrared at night, maybe heat, maybe precipitation, and then it does that overlay. You can see it came in pretty good. And so
how long from when you upload it until you get the image back?
you can go look at the image in maybe 10 minutes,
Oh.
because the Raspberry Pi has to process and then upload it and everything. So it's probably just a few minutes, 10 minutes maybe.
So, so you got a Raspberry Pi, you use the RTL SDR?
I actually use Newelec.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
what it's called, from Amazon.
Smart T.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all different ones. I do have some of the more, I have one of the more expensive ones. The,
Airspy?
no, the other one.
Pitaya?
What is it?
The red Pitaya?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's more like a.
Yeah, it's an actual little bigger box with more connections and so on. But I don't use that one much. The other ones are way less expensive. They seem to work really well. And you saw one of the examples I had downloaded there.
And that's all using that arrow.
The arrow antennas.
Arrow antennas. So basically, any satellites that got something in the 120 to 150, 170 range, you can pick up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that I did here and the ones I'm doing now, I have an LNA that amplifies that a little bit. And I have a filter for FM, because sometimes I get interference from the FM stations that are fairly close to me, I think.
Have you ever seen any, we have a similar system here at Kopernik that takes that NOAA satellite, but our APRS node here will throw, crud through the image if it happens to be transmitting. And so
I kind of avoid that.
Yeah, so you don't have APRS at
No,
yeah.
well, I do, but if it's only when I turn it on and I
Okay.
set it up. So otherwise I try to avoid having this like that.
And how do you choose which satellites to
I know that there's 3 weather satellites, 18, 15,
19.
and 19.
There's also GOES.
Yeah, the GOES is stationary.
Yeah.
So I haven't done that, but Drew was showing me what was done out here. It was pretty cool.
That one requires a bit more antenna power because it's geostationary, so it's a lot farther away.
But,
So you
but
really
that,
need.
I mean, we got it here.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm
It's
saying
a-
like,
yeah.
you just don't
It's
expect
an
a
18
sticker
inch,
or antenna on it.
Yeah, right.
a 2-foot framed parabolic dish.
If you have an old Wi-Fi antenna that's aged, those will generally work.
Is it possible to go to the website and show us? like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we have set up here.
Like what else is out there that,
So depending on what the station on the ground.
let's actually see it, like on the website?
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, because I play with, depending on what the station on the ground is set to listen to, like I've seen the
If now they
ISS,
can see it,
APRS
right,
and
data,
then you can flip.
Everyone does, okay. I'll probably just stay here.
Yeah, I understand anything that's up there, you can receive and post it, but I'd like to see how it's presented, like what the interface is online,
So-
how it's presented.
Here's us with my 2 stations.
Oh.
And you click here, let's see, it should be loading.
Yeah, it should be.
Well, you're obviously just uploading.
I also had this one that I already clicked.
What else are other people making available? What's it look like when you click on
So
it?
if you click for observations. So here's wide open. Here's the observations that people have uploaded. You can search for all these different satellites or times and dates, locations. More filters. So if you wanted, so I might be a little,
Recognize those names. Are most of these satellites amateur satellites?
no,
Object V and GRB Alpha, what are these?
this is the one where it's recent.
Yeah, that, I know that,
Well, yeah,
like,
those are weather satellites.
right.
What are all those other satellites?
I thought it'd be interesting. The reason I came here is because if you notice the time, all the times on this website are UTC. So while we were here tonight, my system did this grab of the NOAA 15. So you can see that here's the audio, and it created this map or the display, the pictures. So that's why we were up here tonight. It ran into that.
Can you go back to that page and listed all those crazy satellites?
Sure.
Give an idea of what all's available out here. What are all those satellites?
like the object C, object D.
Yeah, what?
I guess there are any number of satellites that get put up, and I think the SatNOGS people are just trying to figure out, whose they are, and ultimately what name they get associated with it. Like I've got an app, that I track, like the ISS and other satellites.
Yeah.
And my app will tell me.
Well, a lot of these have real names.
Oh, yeah.
Is there data up there?
There's probably all sorts of ones where they've gathered the NASA data so they could track it.
SatNOGS DB in the top right, it should tell you, it either tells you
Oh.
more about this particular one, or it gives you more readings on this that have been received from this one.
Probably more captures.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I
So you
was
can
reaching the
browse
satellite.
and find all these different things.
So what data is there for this satellite?
Network observations near the bottom right.
From Ireland.
Education, so yeah, what is it?
I know when you set it up, when you want to capture it, it gives you a bunch of choices of the data that it's sending. Mine is filtered because all my antennas to do this are like in the 2 meter, 136 megahertz, that kind of area. But they have all sorts of different frequency ranges.
If it's got the blue tag on the last page, it hasn't actually got it yet. So I think.
It's pending.
Yeah, so this one either is being processed or hasn't finished yet. If you scroll down, it
Oh, yeah.
should be finished observations.
Maybe at the top, we can
Okay.
sort to
And the
the
top
the
left-
green is saying that they were confirmed to work. I have to do that on mine, confirm that I saw data actually came.
And did you have to hit search it?
This works in the inverse though, so you wanna gray out the other images and hit
Gray it.
green. Yeah, so hit all those and then hit the green again to make it pop.
I see. Like that?
Yeah.
We'll do that. They will get some good ones this way.
And then this should be stuff that's processed.
And you can see the numbers over here under results. So that tells me that worked and they got something. ERSAT. Well, let's go to, I go to this tag like this. And it brings us to that screen with the audio waterfall. That's interesting.
Hit the data, see if it looks like it.
Yeah, it's digital data. We can also get,
Well, 'cause in my
I don't know,
case,
will this
it's
play the
JMS
audio when it downloads?
Good.
Do the lottery numbers now.
Yeah, it does, but I don't think we want it. Just, yeah, just data. There's probably more fun ones.
It doesn't
Let's
know what it
see.
is, like in GMXK could be a bunch of different stuff, but in the case like the APRS one, it knows how to decode that, so it will. And there's some other stuff like this, like ReQ, IO, something or other, which is a digital satellite
Still-
that's way up
still
there
searching.
that has a bunch of.
It's what?
It's still
Still
searching.
searching, I see, yeah.
So
Okay.
what benefit do you enjoy from uploading this stuff? Because you could just decode it on your computer and look at it.
Mhm.
So
And,
what-
and I have other Raspberry Pis that I even do this on. I just like sharing it. And it's open. You can, if you signed into here, you can go to the system and tell my radios to capture a certain satellite when it goes by. So a lot of times they're not doing anything. They're just sitting there. But sometimes I go like, oh, let's see what's going on, and I do a whole bunch of them.
So you have remote access to your equipment through this.
Yes, and so does anybody else on the website. But I think you have to log in order to schedule it to do that. But
Oh, so you can access other people's
Mhm.
stations
Right.
if no one else is using them.
right,
You
if
say
I'm
request that they capture-
interested in a certain satellite, I can do that. Yes.
Kind of like the online SDRs that you could log into,
Yes.
tune them and stuff. You can do the same thing with people's.
Pretty much like that.
Makes it a little bit easier.
There's like
Little bit
the
bigger.
ISS as the.
So like this is the ISS packet frequency. And but then this one is the ISS repeater. Where you can actually, you repeat, you go up on 2 meters, and it comes down on 437.
This person captured some of that audio and.
Right.
uploaded it.
These are all different people on the far
Right.
right. You
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah, Robert Harvey.
Right.
Captured
All
some
around the
audio.
world. Maybe this should be better audio, I hope.
Let me just yeah. That's one of the challenges about working with the ISS repeater is everybody's trying to get into it. That's why it's like, actually, the key. So for those that have not, or just experiencing a repeater contact through the ISS, basically it's call and grid square and get out of there.
Get out of the way.
And it's interesting because you can actually sort of see, when it's just all noise, it's all here, but then
Yeah.
when you hear the voice,
It kind of squelch.
it really does sort of squelch you, and it does capture it, and so very interesting. Now, if we go to, if we go back one, let's look at the packet. Let's see what they come up with.
That one's
So,
different. You might want to look at the data.
And then hit ASCII.
Yeah,
or
ASCII.
AX25 in the top right.
No. Oh,
Yep, see?
oh, yeah.
Oh, it just goes to that.
I only usually see ASCII.
Yeah.
I think this is the AX25,
Right.
but still.
So this was, these are all South American stations. Well, the RS0 ISS is the Russian station, is the Russian transmitter on the ISS. But so these are all, South American prefixes. So that's all just stuff that was decoded through the packet.
Maybe that station is in South America.
Yeah.
If you click
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I haven't done it before, but I'm just being a little wild and crazy here. Click this and see if it shows us. Yeah, there you go.
Interested, they're using this, Lindenblad
Yeah.
antenna. This is it's a neat looking antenna.
Yeah, it is.
And, let me see, like, and he's,
What do we call that antenna, Bill?
Egg beater.
a Lindenblad.
Not a quadrupedal antenna.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I was.
Quadrupedal
I
antenna.
remember seeing it in QSU, I couldn't.
Right.
It says quadrophilia.
yeah, okay, there you go.
I think you're
But-
thinking about, I think you're talking about a brand name.
All right, could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is, down in Uruguay. So,
So now you can listen to satellites from anywhere in the world.
So that's one thing I like to do. If I wanted to listen to ISS, but I missed the pass, I can just go on this website, look for passes that have valid data, look through, find good audio, just listen. So I can go and listen to his station if he caught the ISS passes by.
so this person is showing,
Yes.
they're using a Raspberry Pi, new electric SDR, with an LNA and, QFH, quadruphilar, antenna.
More GOA, right?
Yeah,
And if
well, yeah,
you're-
exactly. Exactly. Very cool.
If you're a DIY type person, SatNOGS actually has an open source rotator that you can 3D print the gears for, grab some aluminum, grab some gears, have an azimuth elevation rotator. They have the designs open on the internet for you to grab.
Yeah, so if you go back here to, Leanne Station,
Not that many.
There's not.
that many around.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Vestal's the capital, ground zero.
there you go.
Yeah.
So that's the second station that you put up. Now, do you have rotors on that one as well, or?
Right now, I was telling you how I split them.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Somebody told me don't do it that way,
Oh,
but I
okay.
did and it worked, so.
Okay, so you have one antenna,
I have one antenna with a
Right.
rotator, and one of them is programmed to move the
Right.
antenna, but they're both monitoring. I'm
so I
in the
guess,
process of experimenting.
what happens when you've got two satellites that are above the horizon at the same time? Do you know?
It has to pick.
All right, so probably the first one that
Yeah,
comes
well,
above the
I mean,
horizon.
It won't let you schedule. I don't
Right.
know if without signing in, I don't know if it'll let us schedule.
Hmm,
But when you do future passes,
right,
when you schedule the future passes, if you've already have something scheduled, it's not gonna let you schedule something else within several minutes of that time. And you can't do it, schedule it, oh, I see it coming right now. You have to do ones 10 minutes in the future, probably because they know it takes time to propagate.
so if you look at this, this thing right here, I'm presuming
That's where it
that the green
starts.
is the start, so it's coming out of the south. It's going a little bit west of, overhead, and then ending up just about in the north. So max elevation is 65 degrees. This one starts in the north and is coming down with a max elevation of 28 degrees.
What elevation do you find them the most successful?
Depends on where you are.
Usually above 10 degrees, I do pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
When, if you get a road.
too high, it's the rotator might have to switch and go the other direction. Or things like that, but pretty much, I have a really good view to the south and pretty good to the east. My west is where the closest trees are.
Push to the Tioga County line at 2 meters.
So
With
do you,
my house, anything below 20 degrees, I can't get really.
do you know what these, I was looking,
That's kind of showing you how many people, or how many times it worked. Green is when it worked,
okay.
yellow is iffy, and red is
Yeah.
not. They tried, but it didn't work. They're the same arrow antennas, by the way, when Drew has
Yeah.
the students talk to the space station.
Right.
That I hook it up to my other radio and we use that.
You have the Alaska, you have the bigger version of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 4-element, four elements on 2 and like 12.
No,
I think
the
7.
Alaskan is like 7 on 1.
7, yeah.
But yeah, the regular arrow is the
It's 3 and 7.
like 3 and 4 or something.
Yeah.
3 and 7, because I have the
You have the
regular.
regular one,
Yeah.
okay.
On the Alaskan Arrow, they even warn you on the Alaskan Arrow site, unless you live in Alaska, don't get this, it's way too heavy to be man portable, but if you're
It's
using
on
a
the, it's on the
rotator.
rotator.
Yeah. When it said NOAA 15, that entry, how did they get, did you just say, I want to listen to NOAA 15 and then it gets the clarity data?
These are all the ones that are gonna be in my view in the next few minutes.
It's listing every single.
Oh.
It's all the ones,
Just passing
all the
over.
ones that SatNOG knows, it's listing all the ones.
These are all future, yeah,
In,
future
in
passes.
the 2 meter frequency range, because I've told them what antenna I have.
Oh, okay.
And so they limit it to what they think I can receive.
So they did the legwork for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
You didn't have to sit down and say, oh,
Right.
what is this gonna be, or like we used to.
oh yes, and I don't have to download the elements and all that kind of stuff. Will it let you try to,
No, yeah, please.
pick one of these and set it up for a future pass? See, over here, normally, if you can do that, there's a schedule button. And if you schedule one here, then these will show you overlap afterwards
Hmm.
on the other buttons that are nearby that are, in the view at the same time. So you have to kind of pick which ones you like better or not.
But you're not logged in, that's why,
Yeah, I'm not logged in. That's why I don't see the schedule.
But you can see that this is what, yeah, so AOS on these satellites for today, here's at 0035 UTC, 0039 UTC, 0040, so we can't look at all of them.
Right.
Oh, that's like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't look at all, so what one does it look at?
You pick.
Whatever you schedule.
You
it for.
schedule it.
And you would base it maybe on the green, like Jay was.
Yes, I do.
It would be the most successful.
Right.
Most
So
likely.
like he scheduled his to look at the weather stats.
I do that a lot, the weather satellites, because they're easy to pick up and they do nice images. I did get APRS from the space station recently. I think if we go here, if we go back to the observations, was it this one?
Yeah.
Filters,
Station, yeah, you look.
yeah.
Is it real time enough that you could monitor your downlink? if you're
No.
Transmitting? No.
On the Raspberry Pi itself, you can run other software
Right.
that does a really crude drawing or something as it's doing things, but I don't even do it anymore. It was fun in the beginning, but just let it be. They're not the most powerful computers in the world.
You need to go back to a previous start time.
Yeah. And then, I guess, I don't do a lot of search like this. I did it the other day just to try it. These are bad ones with the black.
No, 18.
So this will give us the same thing we've seen before, the weather picture. The data, the waterfall, the data. Like that. And that's what it's really sending, which I was disappointed, the black and white, because I've seen those nice color ones with the map of the United States and all that. But that's all added by the software afterwards.
I do believe you can download the audio and do processing on your own machine to get.
I did that. Mhm. Actually,
Like I could download your data.
Yes.
And process it on my machine
Mhm.
to get that color segment.
yes.
Yeah, there's some software that we use on our Raspberry Pis here called WX to IMG.
Right.
That's what I
Basically, you
use.
take the WAV file, you squeeze it into that, you play, or you read it through the WXIMG, and then you can actually select which one of those images you wanna look at. So if you go out to our lobby, you'll see like a half a dozen images of like infrared precipitation, sea temperature, general thermal temperature, and but that's something that this other software ultimately can create from that audio. Right.
You could probably also do some audio processing like on that repeater.
You could.
You know, Filter it out.
Yeah.
Filter it out.
Right.
I
So-
will say WX2 image, it hasn't been updated in a very long time. I mean, they're working on updating it to the original program that's basically abandonware. It does still work.
Mhm.
There's keys for the premium version for it that's available on the internet. That being said, because of its age, importing audio into it, it's very particular. You have to have it at this sample bit rate, one channel or whatever, this. So you can do audio to remove some of the noise, but it's fiddly. But that is the Windows program. There's people that are working on reprogramming it to make it newer and better. There's also a Linux version. I forget. Well, I think there's actually a couple, but there's Linux versions that run on the Raspberry Pi or if you have a Linux box at home that you can tell it to sit there and just, hey, there's a pass coming. It'll automatically wait for the WX2 image does it too. It'll wait for the pass after calculating your position. And then once that pass comes, it'll start recording the audio. And then it runs through its process. So then you can tell it, okay, I want to save the images here. I want these types of images, those types of images.
To do the weather like that,
Yeah.
there's Raspberry Noah
Yeah, that's the
software,
one.
that's a package.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the Linux one.
Right. And then there's another one that AMSAT has called Fox in the Box. It has a bunch of different things that you can do with the SDRs, and it has other programs on there as well. This was from, when was this? The 17th, a pass that was almost directly overhead from the space station. So there's all this stuff. I had no idea until I started doing all these different things, how many satellites are going overhead all the time.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
You can go to N2YO.com or .org and say, what's overhead right now? And it'll list what's, it's extensive.
Yeah.
Starlink is just sending.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, but there's not much you can really pull from that.
No, you can't, unless you.
Sometimes you can see them.
But you can
Yes.
see them.
You see string of them go.
Yeah,
by.
the called Sterling train.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions?
Wow, pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
go
Right
ahead.
in the back, yep.
if you wanted to set up a ground station yourself, you could get support through this website.
Yes, from the slides that I did,
Mhm.
I copied down as I built the second one. I copied down the links that I used and different things like that. So yes. Mhm.
Like they have guides and you can do YouTube videos. They're not like gonna send you the equipment and provide your own. It's all.
Sure.
free,
Yeah,
but yeah, they tell you.
They point you in the
Right,
direction.
get a Raspberry
Mhm.
Pi, download this software, has how you flash it, set it up like this, here's how you set this to list at that time.
I'm just a couple months ago, I started picking up satellites and stuff with the SDR and I'm having, especially with the WXIMG, I'm having all kinds of issues.
Oh, yeah, that thing
That
is-
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
So-
even leave on it.
You should go online and look for Raspberry Noah V2. That's software that'll make it easy for you, I believe.
We're gonna put your presentation on our YouTube site for people that aren't here.
Right.
Or for people to look at it.
Sure, and then the different links, I try to copy all the different steps and links and things. Yes.
One thing I will say that, like, it's been our experience here at Kopernik, both with the NOAA satellites and the GOES, is having the preamplifier. That makes a huge difference in getting it as close as you can to the antenna itself.
Absolutely.
Filter also, FM filter?
Yeah, so he said.
I did.
Yeah.
He said he has the NULEC filter. NULEC, if you're looking specifically at the weather stats, they have a couple others, but they have one for GOES and one for the NOAA sats. It has a low noise amp and it has filters before and after the noise amp to help you get as best a signal as you can. And it can be powered from the SDR using what's called bias speed, or you can give it like a USB connection.
Some of the new elect has that already built in.
Yep.
The Smart T.
And so does the $30 RTL SDR.
Yeah.
It's a little fiddly to go enable it, it's a software switch, you have to,
Right.
but it does have it.
That's the B4 version. UHF tower,
Not really. I mean, if you allow me for a second here, we're gonna jump in. You go to Kopernik's website, I can show you what we do. Friday.
What Drew said is a really good thing. Put your preamp right at the antenna.
If you can, put the receiver right at the antenna too. Cause then you don't have.
So if you go to our website, you go to visitor information, you go down to weather, then weather satellite images.
I mean, yeah, like right after the filter, but.
And
kind of coax one.
so like this is sea temperature. This is that pristine image. This is sensor 4. I'm not sure exactly what sensor 4 shows you, but again, here you can see the outlines of the the political outlines.
Now, I will say the geopolitical outlines, the WX2 image puts those on by default. Those are
Yeah.
included from the satellite. It's literally just.
Because it knows where the satellite is and where it is, and so it can paint those images. This is a thermal image. And again, this is what came down today at 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 GMT time. It's 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it came down 20 minutes ago. This is infrared, and then there's infrared with precipitation.
Now, these NOAA sets, these are the easier to see because they're in the 137 megahertz band.
And okay, so do you see that little little sort of hash through there?
Yes.
That's APRS.
That's your APRS.
That's my APRS. And we're probably back to the, yeah, you can sort of see that hash better. But then you can even go, we have,
They're really close in frequency.
right. Because these are coming down at 137 megahertz. The APRS is at 144.39. Then you can go to, we've got like a week's worth of data back here.
Aging and APRS belong on hills where nobody else is. Otherwise they raise chemicals.
All right, so that's what we've done here.
Okay.
But unless there's any other questions, Leon, thank you so much for your time. But were there any questions on from the live stream? I mean, from the Zoom? All right, so, all right, well, thanks again, and I'm gonna stop recording somewhere in
If
here.
anybody wants to, I brought some of the Raspberry Pi stuff that I use. And one of them has that NOAA, Raspberry NOAA on it, that I can plug in and we can look at it.
All right, I'll stop recording and
Is there an advantage